watching this video right now and you are a previous subscriber, I just know that you're here to support me at this point, because I change directions on this channel like every 6 months, and this is something new. So today I am going to be reviewing a film that I recently watched called I Passed for White. It's based on the 1955 book by the same title, which was based on true events. It was common, so I'm not surprised that this was based on a true story. Now, this type of movie is known as a classic mulatto trope, which I say in quotes. I had never heard of that genre before, but if you've seen other movies with the same theme of a mixed Black girl who looks white, that's what that means. Like Imitation of Life or Pinky. You would understand that these types of movies really are a genre of their own. To describe them as romance would be a huge understatement. They really do take you to a new level of emotion that you never thought you could go to, but you can go there. Anyways, the main characters are two very interesting people. I've started to just refer to them on a first name basis because I've seen this movie 4 times, because it's just so different. The ending is so different. The journey is so different. So enter Beatrice or Beatrix. I don't know, when they add that X in there, it kind of throws me off, but Beatrice, I think it's pronounced. And she is 22 during the time of the filming. So I'll just say she's 22 in the movie. And B plays a white passing Black girl. And she's living in California. She's going about her life. She lives with her Black grandmother and her brother. But as she, grows up and goes about her life, she realizes, wow, when I tell people what I identify as, like, they just give me the cold shoulder. And she just realizes, like, life as a Black girl is just hard. Like, like, why am I doing this? And so she has a personal moment, and she decides to skip town and start completely over everything. New name, new life, no ties, nothing. And so she now goes by the name Lila, which we can analyze that later. But enter Rick Layton. Now, Rick is a 26-year-old white man who comes from an established New England family. He's graduated from an Ivy League and is surprisingly very kind. I was expecting him to be a little more arrogant or snobby, but no, he was very kind. Upon meeting Lila, you can tell he's immediately attracted to her, and he applies the pressure.
Your family must feel bad about you leaving home.
Yes.
You from a large family? Brothers, sisters? Am I asking enough questions?
You just said something, Mr. Layton.
I'm sorry, but I did manage to squeeze a little information out of you, didn't I? Now, you haven't told me where to drop you off, and that's a statement.
The Marazan. It's a hotel for girls.
All right. The Marazan, please.
He wants to let her know what it is. He wants to make things official as quickly as possible. And so this is no sneaky link, like, let's keep this on the down low situation for him at all. And this brings B to a crossroads. This brings Lila, as we now know her to be, to a crossroads between literally life or death. And you have to watch the movie to know what she chooses. If you do want to go ahead and watch the movie, stop this review here and go ahead and watch the movie. Now, if you just want to hear a good story and some tea on this movie, then go ahead and continue watching. The following is my unfiltered reviews, thoughts on this movie. The main character, Lila, I feel like she was low-key a femme fatale. She ruined this man's life, literally. She entered his life in such a significant way and then just vanished. Like, he could low-key spiral after that. Like, literally, she married him, she had his child, and then because she thinks that he can't handle the truth, she's just like, all right, peace out. And he, like, nothing, no name, no, like, her identity is fake. Like, he could never track her down, especially in the 60s. Once somebody was gone, they were gone. You're no longer finding them. There is no surveillance during this time. So I was like, no. But at the same time, was she wrong? I put myself in her shoes. Let's think about this. This is 1960. In other movies like Imitation of Life or Pinky, there was a lot of violence toward the quote-unquote mulatta. I don't like using that word, but that's what they use. When she told her boyfriend she was Black and not white. Like, there was a lot of violence, and I don't know, maybe Lila saw those movies and was like, nah, I'm out of here. So she could have saved her life by not telling him, even though she loved him. She had genuine feelings, but he loved a lie. But he didn't know he loved a lie, but that's what it was. Unfortunately, she had to leave. She had to leave. He couldn't even comprehend the fact that she could be Black. He thought the reason she was asking if the baby was Black was because she cheated. Like, his mind wasn't even gonna go there because like, that could never happen. And I would say it's partly his fault as well, because he literally said that he didn't care to know anything about her. Like, they had 40 years to learn about each other. Like,
You've been avoiding me ever since I asked you to marry me, Lila.
Rick, honey, I
Lila,
told
the
you.
only thing that matters now is if you love me. And I've got to know one way or the other.
Oh, Rick, give me a little time to think about it. Why can't you wait a little while until we know each other better? There are things you don't know about me, my family.
Lila, I know everything about you I have to know. Now,
he just came on way too strong. He was very, like, it was cool to see, like, wow, he's chivalrous, but he was very, very, as I said before, aggressive in pursuing her. And, like, he wanted to get married as soon as possible. Like, I don't need to know nothing. Like, you're pretty and that's it. Like, ugh. And she was like, you don't want to know nothing. So he didn't ask, she didn't tell. One pretty nice thing in this movie was her best friend, who really supported her emotionally through the lies, through the controversy of lying. She was a friend that really anyone could ask for. She allowed her to make her own decisions, but at the same time put in her own 2 cents. She wasn't sabotaging her or anything like that. Ultimately, I just chop up the story to Young Love because the decisions that were made were just very hasty and very young, which is why I gave their ages at the beginning, because I thought that was important. My overall rating, I rate this movie an 8. I thought it was really good. It got knocked down 2 points because of the PDA. By PDA, I mean public display of affection, even though it wasn't public, it was in a movie. It was just way too much for me, so that's what I'm gonna call it. For the 1960s, I've seen a lot of film noirs, I've seen a lot of movies, and for a black and white movie, when I say black and white, I mean like literally the filter on the screen, the directors or the writers wanted to be like, they were in love, like, yes, they love each other, but like, come on now. So I had to reach for that fast forward button. I would cringe maybe 4 points if I watched it with my parents, 2 points if I watched it with a friend, and 1 point if I watched it alone. So that brings the cringe rating to about a 7. Regardless, I think this movie is still good for kids with parental guidance, and with parental guidance, not just because of the content, but because of the complex themes. This movie talks about racism, it talks about violence, it talks about lying, can you choose who to love, all of those interesting things. That America was so different in so many ways, good and bad. For example, when he picks her up from the airport, they're on their way to her hotel, she says that she's staying at a hotel for girls. Like, that doesn't exist in America now. Like, all the hotels are co-ed, and I never knew that there were just single gender hotels. And just seeing some of the ways that they interacted, American manners, and how men interacted with women and vice versa in the 1960s versus right now, it's just very different. So I Passed for White was a very fascinating movie for me to watch. At times it was agonizing, at times it was interesting. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you thought, and leave your own rating. Until next time, until the next film noir. Ciao for now.